All right, well, I'm going to get started. Welcome to October 3rd, and the Utah Safety Council Start with Safety. We are here live in Salt Lake City. We are super excited and honored for today's presentation. Today with us, we'll have Slade Opheikens. He's the president and CEO of R&O Construction. He is going to give us a presentation today about the culture of safety there at the R&O. If we have questions after, I believe Slade has agreed to answer some questions after his presentation. But you can ask Slade questions if you want to leave a comment or a question in the chat box, and then I or somebody will retrieve those and relay them to Slade. So, Slade Opheikens, he is, like I said, the president and CEO of R&O Construction. He studied construction management at BYU. However, R&O is an Ogden-based company, so I'm excited to see that Slade continues to engage with the local community there in Ogden as the chamber. He's on the Ogden Chamber Board of Governors, as well as the Ogden Industrial Commission Board of Trustees, and then as well as the Economic Development Corporation of the Utah Board of Directors. And then my favorite, Weber State University's Construction Management Advisory Board. A little bit about Slade and R&O. Slade Opheikens' father, Orloff, founded the family business R&O Construction in 1980. And then Slade started at R&O in 1987 as a teenager and has since worked through nearly every operations position at the company, including as a laborer, a superintendent, project manager, chief operating officer, and president and CEO, his current title. Let's see, Slade actively directs the operations of R&O by managing the quality, cost, and staffing of projects, and works directly with R&O clients daily. The company has offices in Ogden, Salt Lake City, and Las Vegas. Under Slade's leadership, R&O has ranked on Engineering News Record by ENR top 400 contractors in the nation for the past 23 years. And I believe R&O has received the Utah Safety Council's Award of Merit for the past 23 years. And they were also the 2020, the COVID year, the pandemic year, our winner of our Award of Honor, which is the highest safety honor or award that the Utah Safety Council awards. But that year, 2020, was it was not a live in-person annual meeting and award ceremony. So I still feel like we owe R&O their recognition by doing some sort of live event. So we'll make up for it at some point, Slade. But moving on, also under Slade's leadership, R&O received the top contractor in the state award from Associated General Contractors. The success of R&O can be attributed to Slade's emphasis on his employees and clients. Slade is married. He is the father of 4 children, plus a bonus daughter, and has 1 grandchild. Did I miss anything, Slade? That's a lot. It's pretty good.
No, yeah, you missed that. It's not me. It's all our employees and Cesar that make us great. So they give me way too much credit. But no, you covered it very well. Thank you.
Very good. Well, the floor is yours. We're happy and excited and honored to have you join us today.
So should I go ahead and share this? Get going?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Make sure I share the right screen. Let me know when you can see this.
Yep, that looks great. I think we're good.
Okay. So again, first of all, thank you to the Utah Safety Council for the opportunity to present today. And again, Cesar Calvillo, who's our safety director and has been for many, many years. The approach I'm taking today is not just what is R&O's culture, but I want to share with you how our culture came to be at R&O. A few fast facts, if you want, about R&O. This isn't about us today, it's about safety, but I think it helps to understand a little bit more about R&O. We've been in business for 43 years. This past year, we did $504 million in revenues. We've been very fortunate. We have around 180 employees. We do not really self-perform much work. We are primarily a manager. We have some carpenters, we have foremen, we do miscellaneous, but we're not heavy into self-performing concrete or carpentry. As previously mentioned, we have 3 office locations. Our home office is in Ogden. We have an office in Salt Lake, and we have an office in Las Vegas, Nevada. We've been in Las Vegas with an office about 25 years or so. We average touching about 80 to 100 projects per year. Of course, they don't all start in January and end the following, in December. That's working on some portion. But that's a pretty good average, and we have 3 operational divisions. And I share that again to give a perspective, not knowing who the audience is today. We have a division of work that average job size might only be $3 million, a retail division that does primarily grocery stores and mall renovations, new malls, industrial tilt projects. And we have a commercial division that's working on office building, DFCM project types, multifamily housing, etc. Our job sizes vary from 2 million to 125 million. So there is a lot of diversity, and I share that again because in being consistent with safety, it can be a struggle because $100 million project can have a staff to help. A 2 or 5 or a $10 million project is usually just a superintendent alone. But it's important how do we keep safety on our projects. Most importantly, we have over 3,000 great subcontractor relationships, and we truly do value those as our partners. We can't build anything without them. So if you're a sub out there who works for us or is currently, thank you for what you've done. So I want to walk through again, how does or did Arno develop a culture of safety? So I'm going back quite a ways, and in 1999, Arno was doing approximately $100 million in revenues. At that time, we did not have a safety director. We had various project managers. We had a vice president of operations. We talked about safety. We likely filled out some paperwork. We had fences. We were probably hit and miss on hard hats. But Lynn Wright, who was our vice president of operations back then, saw the need that as we were growing and our project sizes were growing, we needed to change. And that is when Lynn hired Cesar in 2000. Cesar Calvillo, for anybody who has met him, I will stand behind that you will not meet anybody in the world more passionate about making sure not just R&O employees are safe, but that every subcontractor and every person that comes onto our projects is not just safe, but they have been trained, that they have a plan, that he'll help them develop a plan. It helps that he's bilingual, helps immensely of communicating. And what I've really appreciated with Cesar in this role from the beginning, even up until now, is safety is not a checklist for him. Like I say, there's people who will come out, walk a job, find 20 items wrong, leave a checklist and give that to a superintendent, which just adds weight. Cesar, what I've appreciated is he finds solutions that I and our team believe are workable. There's always more than one way to skin a cat that we talk about. And I believe that when somebody is in the role of being a director for your safety over your company, they do need to understand the other challenges that your operations team has to help them find what's the safest possible route that can be done, not just what the manual says. So a little hats off to Cesar. Fast forwarding a bit from 2000, by 2008, Arno was doing $260 million in revenues. I put on here, we were committed to safety and it was a priority, but we needed something more. So as we're going through, when we're out on the construction job sites, for our superintendents and for our operations team and our subs, there's a lot of priorities out there that we talk about. We always say, well, safety is a top priority, and make it your top priority. We've seen that on the back of many hard hats. It used to be on the back of ours. We would say that, but for the superintendent, schedule's a priority. Your concrete pour is a priority. Your inspection with the building department is a priority. And we've talked internally about this. Priorities can change based on the moment in time that an event is occurring. And that isn't just on job sites, that's in life. I have a priority that I need to pick up my daughter at soccer tonight or something. That's a priority. Hopefully I show up. But what if another critical meeting pops up? Am I going to call somebody and pawn it off? So as we talk about priorities, we recognize we need something a little bit more as it applies to safety. I don't know if we had the format. So I had a question here, and maybe you guys can type in, but I want to ask for a couple responses. Why do you go to work? I don't know if we have audio. If anybody wants to share, they can share. If somebody wants to type something in, you can read it off, but I want to hold up here for about 30 seconds. Will somebody please answer, why do you go to work? And John, if nobody answers, you have to.
But we have a good answer, and that is to make a difference.
Okay. Okay, so we have to make a difference. Anybody else?
I would say, we enjoy coming to work at the Utah Safety Council because we believe we're doing work that matters.
Okay. Does anybody go to work because they have to pay bills and get a paycheck?
Well, there's that too, right?
There's that inconvenient, right? And it, and a lot, if we get any other responses, please read them off. But this is part of our question of, why are we coming to work? And great difference, to make a difference. Well, you're making a difference in your community, you're making a difference to your employer, and you're making a difference to your family, of what you're able to provide for them. That's that I'm getting a paycheck, that, the American dream, I can provide a better life for my kids. And, I think that's something we strive for. And, we not get into whether that's even possible anymore, but, so typical construction challenges and I'm gonna go back to job sites. So as we start talking about, I want you to keep in mind why you go to work and the answers we gave, but again, now the challenges that we have as we were looking at changing our culture. Persons have been doing what they do, and I may say the way they do it for 20 plus years. Our rough and gruff foremen and carpenters and superintendents, they've been climbing scaffold, climbing ladders, erecting steel, the way they've been doing it, and they've never got hurt. So why do we need to change it now? You guys can reflect within your own companies. Have you ever heard that comment come back from employees out there, whether they're subs or your own? Upper management is focused on profitability. Many companies, upper management, that is their focus. They're not boots on the ground. They're not aware of safety and what's happening in the trenches or the importance of it, maybe until something horrific happens. Owner is demanding quicker schedules. That's always. I've heard oftentimes the budget doesn't even have a safety line item. And I may ask you guys to ponder, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I will share with you R&O, and I've talked several times with safety. Our projects do not have a line item for safety. And here's my why. If the budget is $20,000 or $1,000 or $200,000, what do you do when the budget's expended because there were some unforeseen items? Do you stop enforcing it? So our approach is you can't budget enough for it. you make good decisions, you buy what you need to buy, you replace what you need to replace. And as a company, you know, we have a percent that we bid into each project to help build our safety fund, but we're not defining it by a line item that once it's gone, you have to stop. So that's our culture. Every company is different, but it's kind of our approach. So my question with this challenges of people in the industry or in the past, it's definitely gotten better. How do you change the culture of the industry? How do you change the culture of your company? And I put in here, how do you make safety of value? And we'll have a slide in a little bit, but again, priorities change based on what needs to be done when. A value, when we look at the definition of what is a value, if it's truly a value to you, it doesn't change. Your priorities are based on what your values are. Your life decisions are based on your values. They are truly the things that matter most. So for us, we need to figure out how do we change safety from bringing a priority to a value. And our approach was we made it really, really personal. And, you know, I'm going to explain what we did in 2008. I assume many of you have had the opportunity to see Chad Hymas present his story of what happened to him. If you have not and you get the opportunity at any time in the future, I strongly recommend that you go. We've actually had Chad come to our company twice. I've gone to him one other time outside our company, and we have him scheduled to come back in January of next year. But Chad's story of what happened to him was he basically has a repetitive thing that he does at work at an elk farm with picking 1-ton bales of hay with a tractor. He'd done it for years. He knowingly needed to lower a 1-ton bale of hay. I'm greatly simplifying this. And he was in a hurry. Even though the hydraulic fluid light was flashing, he was in a hurry and he knew a way to still get the job done, even though it wasn't the safest way. The outcome of that did not work. 1-ton bale of hay fell onto Chad, broke his back, and he was pinned looking at a steering wheel and a flashing red light. Chad shares this story with us, though, of the chances that we take because, you know, we've climbed up the ladder for 10 years and never fallen, so I can do it again and still lean past the top. I haven't done my shoring in my trench for 20 years and I haven't had an issue, so why should I stop now? And again, there's so many examples we can make, but when Chad finished his presentation, again, our goal is how do we make this hit home for each of our employees? And I'm going to share a video, let you guys watch probably 3.5 to 5 minutes of this. This video was, we had the idea of gathering some pictures of our superintendent's families. Sorry, it's been 13 years and it still, like I say, changed our culture, changed me. And the idea is we would have a little slideshow that we would put these pictures up to try to make superintendents aware of why did they go to work. So as you watch this video, you're going to see pictures of strangers you don't know, but I want you to look at it through the lens of these are your employees or this is your family. And then we'll come back, but just 1 sec. I'm going to tee this up and hope it all works.
Safe with the dirty jobs. I mean, you know that we love dirty jobs, Dad. So come home safe.
I woke up crying late at night when I was very young. I had dreamed my father had passed away and gone. My world revolved around him. I couldn't lie there anymore. So I made my way down the mirror hall and tapped upon his door. Daddy, I'm so afraid. How will I go on with you gone that way? Don't want to cry anymore. So may I stay with you? He said, that's my job. That's what I do. Everything I do is because of you, to keep you safe with me. That's my job, you see. Later we barely got along, this teenage boy and he. Most of the fights, it seems, were over different dreams. We each held for me. He wanted knowledge and learning. I wanted to fly out west. Said I could make it out there if I just had the fare. I got half, will you loan me the rest? And I said, Daddy,
Don't forget, Daddy. Don't forget, Daddy. Hey, Dad! What are you doing? We're being safe. Thanks for keeping us out of these things, just like you.
I want you to be safe so you can come home to us.
Hi, Dad. I just wanted to remind you to wear your hard hat and your boots and to come home safe. We love you. I like my dad because he's a really good hit stick master.
Hi, Dad. Be safe on your job. I love you. Okay. Bye.
He saved at work. And because I love you, bigger than the sky, bigger than the whole world, and space and earth and everything.
Mama. Say mom.
Mama?
Hi, Dad. It's me, Kate. Don't forget to wear your hard hat, your boots, and your vest. I love you. Bye. My name is Heidi. We want you to be safe out there. Wear a seatbelt.
that's what I do. Everything I do is because of you, to keep you safe with me. This time, this place, misused, mistakes, too long, too late. Who was I to make you wait? Just one chance, just one breath, just in case there's just one left. 'Cause you know, you know, you know. I love you. I loved you all along. I miss you. Far away.
So let me switch this over, and I want to pick your guys' brains on a couple things. Sorry, it's just taking me a sec to get my screen back up here. Any thoughts on what you guys saw? Hopefully you're able to hear it and see it okay. And again, I don't know who all has audio to share, but I want to go back and ask that question again. Why do you go to work? And would you answer it differently now if you had just watched that of your family and your employees? I mean, it's to make a difference in that, but whose life is it really to make a difference in, and who you're really going to work for? And again, invite anybody who wants to post a comment or share thoughts before we move on.
Well, Arnold's very own Cesar said, for our families, right? So ultimately, that's what we're doing. Everything for us for our families.
Right. Thank you, John. So with this, and again, I want to tee this up because if there is a company out there now who's listening, who's trying to figure out how do I get my guys and gals to embrace safety. You know, you've tried everything else that's been recommended. This moment in time for Arundel literally changed our entire culture. It changed safety to a value. We had asked the girls to gather some hard hats. They went above and beyond, or to grab some pictures. They made it into video. They went to people's homes and videoed their kids. We changed the back of our hard hats to say who is waiting for you at home as a reminder. To this date, this is still the back of all of our hard hats. As that reminder, who is waiting for you at home. The inside of every person's hard hats that was there that day and the other time we've redone this, all the little notes you saw, the pictures were put inside the hard hat. So every time our person puts their hard hat on, they're looking who's waiting for them at home. They're looking at their love notes. They're looking at the remember me, Dad. We've done this twice. That's why I have two hard hats of my own. One was in 2008. We redid it again in 2017, I think. We're looking to redo this again in January. It has had that big of a positive impact. The other benefits that we have had is our employees are actually sharing these now with our subcontractors. So when a superintendent is asking a sub why, or explaining to them why they need to do something the way they need to, we've literally had soups take their hard hat off and share with them, this is my family, this is my story, this is why I come to work, who's your family? They're making it personal out on the job site instead of it just being you got a task to perform. And I don't even know that I can explain the culture change that this had overnight. When we had this meeting in 2008, this safety presentation happened right at lunchtime, so we finished up right around 1:30. We had spent tens of thousands of dollars reserving the location we were booked at, still had about 5 more hours of time of things to cover that were really important. I mean, you know, life-changing, right? When that video ended and I went to turn the lights on, I had 3 of the biggest, burliest guys sitting on the back row with their top button of their shirt undone, their head buried in their shirt, absolutely bawling and begging me not to turn the light on. That's how we knew we got it. That's how we knew, you know, it wasn't just a checklist again. It wasn't a video of somebody else's life. This was their life. This was their family. It hit home and it worked. And we've been able to maintain that through the best practices that Cesar has continued. Like I say, every employee got their hard hat. So what did we do? We made it a value. We made safety a value. Again, values do not easily change. They're not readily influenced by others or circumstances. And sometimes it takes a life change to change a value. Without somebody getting hurt, we were able to take a different approach to creating a value, to creating a life change. And unfortunately, we've had projects where somebody has gotten hurt. We've had projects where somebody has gotten killed. I promise you, you don't want to make that phone call. It's not good. This is a much better approach to changing the culture at a company and for your employees. You know, make it personal. Kind of talked about this, making it a value, but it is for us, guys, at the end of the day, it is about our families. It is about who is waiting for you at home. You know, you can stop and ponder that. You know, put in the blue text here. What are they, being your family, going to do if you're not here? Yeah, you can buy life insurance. You know, it's a nice little backstop, but it's those moments that you're able to share with your wife. It's the moments, if you still have children, you're able to share with. It's your grandchildren. Really, that's why we go to work, in addition to making a difference to everything else. But if you can, I just promise you, if you can recreate this, and I'd be happy to share the rest of this video with anybody who would like it. Because I loved, we actually had Big D Construction come and speak at our last operations training this last year. And that's what I've loved about safety and the Wasatch Front in Utah. The gentleman over there, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he said there is no secrets in safety. You know, when we all share things that are being done correct and being done well, we improve the consistency of the Wasatch Front, the state of Utah, our approach to safety. We make everybody better. You know, we don't have to share financials, but we should all share any secrets to safety, because there aren't secrets. It's just, you know, all boats rise together. So I've talked about this a little bit. Our hard hats tell our story and allow us to share it, our values and our commitments with our employees, our subs, and even our clients. Safety, I want to add in here, required the full commitment from upper management. That came all the way to me. So when Cesar, after he was here for a little while, you know, reporting to Lynn Wright, and we continue to, how do we drive the culture of safety and change it here? And I became president. Cesar began at that point in time reporting directly to me to help reinforce from the very top down within our company that safety is a value. I've mentioned this, Cesar does not check a box. He does not just look for problems. He deeply cares about every person working on every project. We've talked about that. This was the end of our training event of our superintendents and PMs that were, some of them had their hard hats on, others had them showing this to you. It's interesting, as I was going through this video Saturday, I emailed one of our, I texted one of our superintendents who doesn't work here anymore. He went to work for one of our competitors, and I sent him a picture of his hard hat, and I said, hey, I found this. Within about 20 minutes, he texted me back. He still had pictures of his hard hat, of the inside of his hard hat, and his notes. And for him to be able to reply to me within 20 minutes means he has that somewhere. You know, it's like a trophy. It isn't tucked away in a closet or in a gang box or thrown away because he doesn't work for R&O anymore. I thought that was impressive, of truly something that really meant that much to him 20 plus years later, even though he has moved on and probably thrown away every R&O shirt. I don't know, maybe he hasn't. He's a good guy. We have a good relationship. But just as an example of, that's really a value, right? Not just a priority anymore. At R&O, our culture is, I should be able to walk onto any project and say, who's responsible for safety? And whoever I'm talking to that works for R&O should yell out, I am. It's kind of a little chant we've done for years. But so if you ask any of our people who is responsible for safety, I hope that they tell you I am. And that is, it's me, it's our vice presidents, it's our foremen, it's our carpenters, it's our job cost accountants, it's our project assistants. Anybody is empowered to stop a job for an unsafe act. So I want to share that with you. I hope it benefits at least even one. And with that, open for any questions you may have, or we can end it.
Well, thank you, Say. That's very powerful stuff. What would you say is the greatest achievement R&O has in the last 43 years? I mean, what's the thing that you are most proud of that R&O has achieved for families that rely on R&O, you know, to keep churning?
I mean, for our families, as I look at that, because I look at it as I'm responsible for 180 families. So I think that achievement is us being able to be able to keep work in front of them so that they know they're going to have a job in the good times and in the bad times. As that plays into we're financially responsible. We take care of our employees financially, and from the safety side of making sure they get home to see their wife and their kids. We work really hard to try to keep our guys in the field home. When I say home, working along the Wasatch Front. We used to have to travel a whole lot more. We've all been very blessed to be in Utah and to be in the Wasatch Front for the last 15, 20 years, that we don't have to go to Denver. We don't have to go to California. We don't have to go to Idaho. We can, and there's opportunity, but one of our values is being able to keep our employees near their families as well. We're not the biggest company, and we don't plan to be. We want our clients, our subs, and our employees to all want to work with us again at the end of the job.
Very good. Are there any, what are some exciting projects R&O are working on right now in the construction world?
Project-wise, we just are finishing the last building right now of the new Northrop Grumman headquarters at Hill Air Force, just off Hill Air Force Base. That's been a 3.5-year long, $400 million project. So it's nice to be getting that wrapped up. It was really a milestone for us, both by size and by type of work. We have quite a few projects in the industrial tilts, warehouses that are going at BDO and down at the inland port, as well as a few other locations. A couple multifamily jobs, going. I think everybody's doing multifamily right now. But I even celebrate, we just completed, I think, our 107th Maverick fuel station. We have Chick-fil-A's that are going Western United States. And I say that because our small jobs are just as important as our large ones. And being able to have the repeat clients, I think, is a testament to our employees and their commitment to satisfying our customers. Got a couple other that are in the works to try to break ground, but everything seems to get pushed back a few more months right now with all the material procurement challenges. So we'll keep trudging along.
Very good. How is your father involved at all in the day-to-day operations, or do you guys keep him retired for the most part?
Yeah, he's pretty well, as far as from the R&O side. He has not been in the day-to-day for probably 12 plus years, but he is an excellent resource. He has been through the booms, he has been through the recessions. So to have access to that knowledge, to be able to pick his brain, he's still on our board of, as the chairman at R&O. So, I mean, for me to have free access to him, just to say, hey, here's what's happening in the economy now. What do you think is coming? That is priceless, to have access to a mentor with that type of information. But yeah, as far as choosing what projects we're pursuing or dealing with the day-to-day, he's not in that. He's able to enjoy life. I joke and say he's cut back to 40 hours a week now. He does some development stuff on the side that he enjoys.
Well, very good. Well, Slade, what you're doing and the whole R&O team is doing to focus on families and, creating or continuing the culture of safety there at R&O. I know that, what you guys do is an example for a lot of construction companies and just Utah industry in general. So I congratulate you and your whole team and your employees over there at R&O Construction. You're taking safety personal and you're looking out for families, and I think we in the safety community and Utah as a whole can see that R&O really is looking at safety as a value, and I only can hope that all of Utah's industries and companies can follow suit. So congratulations again. And again, it's been an honor, and thank you for being here and sharing the video and just your thoughts, regarding safety today. It's been an honor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, moving along here. Just wanted to briefly, we're coming off our member appreciation event at the Crossy Ranch last Friday afternoon, and it was great to see a lot of our member companies come out and their families, and we had the opportunity to engage with them live and in person, and it's always fun, the pumpkin patch over there at the Crossy Ranch, and we got a lot of questions, comments if this is going to be an annual event, and I would say yes, it is. So far, so good, and we enjoy it, and the member companies enjoy it, and for those of you that came out, we appreciate meeting you and talking to you, and we had a photographer out there, and here shortly we'll get some pictures out that everybody can enjoy. I don't want to steal Brandy's thunder, but she's been working hard to put together a women in safety presentation that's scheduled tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the guest house up there at the University of Utah on their campus. So it's still not too late if you want to participate and come to that. We'll feed you lunch. We are going to hear from Laura Hadley. She's the executive director for the Utah-Idaho Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So Brandy will give the details, but we hope we can see some of you at that. And then we are in full conference planning mode for 2023. Next year, March 16th and 17th up there at the Rice Cycle Stadium at the University of Utah. So if you want to get involved as an attendee, an exhibitor, or if you have a great idea to come speak to us, we'd love to hear from you. So please reach out, safety at utahsafetycouncil.org. If you, we just would like to get everybody involved for our post-pandemic live and in-person safety conference for 2023. Okay, with that, I am going to turn it over to Annabelle and Hannah to speak to us about updates in our occupational refinery and mining safety program. So take it away.
Okay, hello everyone. So excited to be here today. Just a few things we wanted to touch base with on our calendar. For starters, we've got Basic Orientation Plus, our BOP. That'll be for the oil refineries that are, maybe new hires, restart, or maybe restarting for whatever reason, as well as the refreshers. So if you're signing up for BOP, just keep in mind that you might need some site-specific training. I know sometimes people ask. Just, touch base with us. We can get you signed up for BOP, and then you can call in or email to get you signed up on that computer lab, and we can do it right after BOP as well. So, or if you're just needing your maybe BOPR refresher or certain site specifics and you already did your BOP, just calling in to us, we'll be able to get you set up on the calendar. Usually you can come in about 8:30 to do that. So yeah, either way, doing BOP and then I'm doing the computer lab afterwards, or if you're just needing that site specific stuff, just calling in. And then UITC, for those that are needing that, is on October 18th. And so those are our main ones that some people are needing on-sites for those. We've been noticing recently. So just keep in mind, we do BOP as an on-site as well if your company's needing something that's a bit more customized to your schedule or training needs. That's about that for that one. Up next, we've got our MSHA department. So just keeping in mind when you're signing up for our MSHA classes, some of them are in person and some of them are web-based. We can easily swap you into the one that you need. Just keep in mind that you might actually, now that we're going back into in-person, sometimes you might think you're signing up for in-person or web-based, but you might not notice that little detail. So either one works. We've got the web-based are coming up. We got multiple of those. And then our in-person is October 17th for the refresher. And then we've got underground new miner. That one we can offer as an on-site or even as a private class if you're needing that. So reach out to us about it. Our next pre-schedule one is in December. So if you're needing something sooner, reach out to us. There are a few ways that we can troubleshoot that and get you that training that you need to get you going on your site. And then once again, in person or web-based are both offered for the 24-hour surface new minor. With in person, you also get your CPR first aid certificate as well. But even if you're doing web-based, you can still come in to do the skills assessment, since we still during the class teach the first aid aspects. So you could still get your certificate for it as well. Some people don't realize that they get their CPR first aid certificate in person, but web-based as well. If you come in for skills, you could get it. And then for 32-hour underground, whether it's the refresher or the surface, whether the 32 underground is the refresher or just the full class, those are both in December. So let us know if you need any help with that. And then we've got the introduction to work environment tour. Some people sign up for that and they don't, and they've already done the class, or it's been a while, or maybe they don't, they want to take the class first. Any of those options work for you? I might just touch base with you if we don't have you in our system. You might just need to bring that verification that you took the class if you want the full certificate. But those are our dates for that. And any snags with that, if you're unsure if you can do it through us, feel free to sign up and just reach out, and we'll get it figured out. Usually it's a pretty simple tour, and it's not too difficult for us to modify what you need to get your full certificate. So okay, and that's it we have for that. Besides experience minor, which will be on the 26th, for those that are needing that. But that's something that sometimes you just need the refresher. Sometimes you might need the full class, but some people don't realize experience minor is another option as well that we can that we are now starting to offer as of this month. So we're excited for that. With our advanced safety certificate, we've got POSH is coming up this month. For those that are interested in it. Keep in mind, we do have some different options we've been creating for this new calendar year. We've got it in packages, we've got certain discounts, we've got ways that are going to make it a lot easier for you to get your advanced safety certificate. So just keeping in mind, you can reach out to us if you're unsure what your course tracking is going to be like in order to get your advanced safety. Touch base with us, and we've got a lot of resources, a lot of options for you, a lot of ways to, once again, just tailor the training to your need. So besides that, certificate in OSHA compliance. So for those going for that, we've got a few different classes this month, as you can see. The OSHA compliance one is another really great training to consider as well, just because it's one where a lot of people already need OSHA. A lot of people's companies are already requiring them to get their OSHA 10 or 30. So it's something that they might consider is just getting specialized in it as just another award, another certification, just to prove their knowledge and safety. It's just another great one to consider. And then for a few occupational courses, we have the NFPA 70E coming up. A lot of people need that. Or Occupational Safety Essentials is today, but just keep in mind it is every month as well. If you're looking at a way to just kind of get you started in safety, just get your feet wet, get some knowledge about it, that maybe a more expansive knowledge about it, just to get started kind of as a safety 101 introductory course. It's a really great one, and we're offering it today as well as most beginning of every month. So okay, great. And that's what we have for those departments with occupational. And I think the next slide is going to have our advanced safety. So I already touched on it, but just keep in mind with advanced safety, it's a really great one that a lot of people have just have talked about how it really just helps them kind of specialize. I mean, if you're already having to get training through your company, if your company's already invested in doing, higher learning and investing in their employees, why not do something where it's an actual certification, it's an actual, there's an actual award, there's an actual, you're actually, it's something that can actually go on the resume, on your LinkedIn, can actually prove something that you've gained. So it's definitely something to consider for you, for your company, for those you work with, even if maybe it's not where you're at in life, but maybe some people that are just those straight A students. I think it's a really, it's just an incredible course to consider when it comes to just advancing yourself and really orienting you in safety training. So that's what we have for that one. And our next slide, just keeping in mind a few different options. If you're in a situation where your company is under 250 employees or your branch is under 250 employees, honestly, if you're not even sure, touch base with us. There's a few different ways we might be able to make it work. But we do have a workplace safety scholarship program where if you go, we have the paper copy. We have a lot of them here. I can send you a link, but also if you just go on our website, the link is there, or just type in scholarship. It's an editable PDF. You send that to us and it's 50% off all training, which is just it's just slicing that price in half to get those certifications. And honestly, and with some of the other offerings that we have here for discounts, it's just it really is just extremely worth the money for what you're getting. So yeah, just keep that in mind. It's an you fill out one, we can reuse it, but it's definitely something that can just give you and your company, or even as an on-site, if you're needing something special for your company at your site, it's been really empowering for a lot of people, and a lot of people have used it. So besides that, some people that aren't under 250 employees, a lot of times you can work with Custom Fit. It's a company that we work with a lot. They're kind of a nonprofit through a lot of the community colleges that allow you to get once again just that discounted occupational training that they offer around. I mean, I know one of them I did was about 40% off, but a lot of times they will serve as a middleman to just give you a really discounted training that your company needs, that you need, that maybe your little department or branch needs. So just another one to consider if you're not sure about the workplace safety scholarship program. So anyway, those are just some things that are going on with our department. We're just really excited for some of the things that we're building. So if you have any questions about anything that you've heard about, that you want to know more about, feel free to reach out to us, Hannah or Annabelle in the occupational department. My extension's 304, hers is 305, and we just have a lot we'd love to talk to you about when it comes to some of the things we're creating and some of the options that you might not realize you have, and some of the resources you might not know are there. So anyway, that's what's going on with us in our department. I think now we're leaving it off to Stone for defensive driving in his department.
Hello, so my name is Michael Stone. I'll be covering the defensive driving as well as the emergency care program for this month because Brandon is currently out of the office. So as far as our defensive driving availability is concerned, it is what we have on screen. So for Salt Lake, we actually have one tonight from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We also have one coming up on this Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The one after that would be on October 22nd, which is from 8 a.m. to noon. Is also a hybrid option, meaning that you can log into Zoom and that you can get your certificate that way if you don't want to travel down here. After that, we have our final one in Salt Lake for the month on October 27th from 8 a.m. till noon, which is a Thursday, so that's a morning class. If you're interested in that, as far as our Logan availability, we've already passed that. That was actually over the weekend on Saturday. We have two coming up in Layton on the 11th and the 15th. One is a night class for people who may be working. And then we also have one from 8 a.m. till noon on Saturday. And then finally, we have Lehigh on the 26th, which is from 5:30 to 9:30. That's down at the Thanksgiving Point UVU campus. In addition to that, we also have one in Washington on the 22nd, which, as I stated, would be on a Saturday from 8 a.m. till noon. And it is always offered online if you want to send maybe one or two drivers through. Aside from that, you can always contact me for pricing if you need to schedule some sort of on-site or something like that. And my contact information is on the right-hand side of your screen. So if you want to take that down. And then for emergency care, we have first aid, CPR, and AED course, which is a member benefit on October 19th. And then we also have the first aid, CPR, AED instructor development course on December 7th through the 9th. And after that, we also have one final slide we need to touch on, which is all of the different services and products that we have available for anybody who wants to come in, maybe use those. We have an AD program. We have training materials that can be for rental, and we also have training materials for sale. And we also, of course, carry first aid kits. That's something that you need. And that about does it for emergency care and traffic. And I will turn it over to Nicole.
Hello, I'm Nicole Ackman. I'm the program administrator here at Utah Safety Council. I work alongside Justin Ward, who's actually in training today. One of our main tasks here is to maintain our computer lab, where we offer hundreds of different web-based training courses. So if you're needing to sign up for one of those, you just give us a call. My contact information is down below at extension 316, and we can get you scheduled for that. And we can also look into getting a course that we may not have right now. The most popular course that we offer in our lab right now is our basic orientation plus refresher. We're also going to be one of those first faces you see when you come into the office. I'll go ahead and turn you over to Brandy, who will tell you a little bit about membership.
All right, thank you, Nicole. I just wanted to put this slide up here. I believe most of you on the call today are members, so wanted to thank you for your continued support of the Safety Council and everything that we do here in our mission, but also to remind you about the benefits that you have with your membership. Many times, you know, we want to just make sure that people are utilizing everything that they have available to them. So you can see from the list on the screen, one of the biggest reasons why people join or use the Safety Council initially is the streaming safety videos. So if you're not set up to view those, or if you want any additional people in your office to be able to access that with their own login, just send us an email at safety@utahsafetycouncil.org and I can get that taken care of for you. Another big reason people join is the free courses. So make sure that you're utilizing those. We do have the OSHA 10, either general industry or construction, that you can send someone to free every year, as well as our first aid, CPR, and AED course. So make sure that you're utilizing that free training because it does come with your membership. And then the new class that we have, Occupational Safety Essentials, we are making that a membership benefit, you know, kind of course as well. So make sure to get signed up for that. Like Annabelle said earlier, we do those once a month. And it's a really great base and foundation for safety in any organization. So make sure to do that. And John mentioned it earlier, but we do have membership appreciation events. So we just had the last one on Friday, which was really fun. At Crossy Ranch. So we do those several times a year. And it's not just for companies or during company time. This was a good example where, you know, as members, you can bring other people in your organization, or you can bring your families and just, you know, utilize your membership and celebrate safety in that way as well. And then a big thing is just making sure that you're receiving those discounts on your trainings and your products. So those are a big thing. Again, just wanted to thank you for your membership. Make sure that you're taking advantage of those benefits. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call our office. My name is Brandy Crockett, and I will help you with whatever it is that you need. And our staff is more than excited and available to assist you with anything as well. Moving on. The next slide that I wanted to talk about is our Women in Safety program. So Women in Safety was started several years ago. Many of you are familiar with it, but if it's new to you, it's just a group that we have formed with, you know, women in the industry. And we get together and talk about challenges that we face or opportunities that we might have. And part of that is we select someone at the end of the year to receive the WISH Award, which is the Women in Safety and Health Award. And so nominations are open now. We do have a handful of nominations that we'll consider for our meeting in December, but I am keeping that submission period open through the end of this week. So if you have anyone that you'd like to nominate, please feel free to do so. I think we are going to put, I think she did put the link in the chat for everyone to see. So you can just go on and fill out that form, send it back to me at safety@utahsafetycouncil.org, and make sure to put as much information as you can on your nominee. Just to give you an idea of what the selection criteria includes for this award, we're looking for someone who has contributed to our objective of making Utah a safer place to live and work, and or provides exceptional leadership or performance in a leadership role, involved in implementation of safety culture or changes, and someone who positively impacts safety and health of their workplace or industry, and anyone who demonstrates creative excellence related to safety initiatives. And so in order to nominate someone, you just need to submit a narrative along with their contact information and yours, and we can certainly, get that to you. I think next up is the WISH Award date. So that is planned for December 16th. And we have that set for a venue at the U of U Alumni House. So it's a beautiful building. It's really a fun and kind of nice, classy event that we do with the Women in Safety group, where that WISH award is given out. So once everybody submits their applications or their nominations, the steering committee and a group of individuals here will meet and decide who is going to be given that award. And that's what we do at that December 16th. So make sure to mark your calendars. We'll put registration information out as soon as it's available. But don't miss that. It's a really good event that we have a lot of fun at. So the next event, like John mentioned earlier, is our event tomorrow. So we try to get in as the Women in Safety group together several times, 5-6 times a year, to hear from different people in the industry, in the community. And like John said, we are going to hear from Laura Hadley, the executive director of the Utah-Idaho chapter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And she is going to be talking to us about ways to build your community and different aspects of that. So it's tomorrow from 11 to 4 at the University of Utah Guest House. We also did put that link in the chat. So there is still room to register. Lunch is provided. Everybody that comes gets a free gift. So come. It's not just women that are welcome. So anybody is welcome to that event. Make sure you come, invite a friend, share this link with anybody that you think might be, that might benefit by coming to the event. So it's a great event to gather and network and hear from a really great leader in our community. So I hope to see you there. We'll all be there tomorrow. That's really exciting for us. So one of the last few things I think John mentioned as well, but here's a slide on it, for your save the date for the Utah Safety Conference and Expo, March 16th and 17th of next year. So we are in person this year. We are going to have, as it says on the screen, some virtual options. So the plan right now is to possibly stream some of the keynote addresses, but it will be an in-person event this year. We have sent out a call for presenters that again is also open through the end of this week. So if you would like to submit a presentation to be, eligible or thought of to present at this year or next year's conference, we have that link in the chat as well. So click on that. It will just take you to a SurveyMonkey where you'll answer a series of questions about the topic that you want to present on, and then we will bring that back to a committee here and notify you shortly if your topic was selected. So that's a great way to get involved, to be a part of it. And part of that is that you do get a registration. You get to attend the conference for free if you're a presenter. So that'll save a little bit on the budget and get you to that conference as well. So we'd love to see you there. One quick last few things that I have. The next Start with Safety webinars that we have coming up, mark your calendars, November 1st and December 1st. So that should be easy to remember. And then it's always at 10 a.m. We always start these at 10 a.m. just like we did today. And make sure to check back for more details on these seminars as well as our postings for the 2023 year. We plan to continue this into next year. So with that, I'm super thankful that we got to hear about a great company, RNO, and their safety and their community and their culture. And I hope you enjoyed it today. And I just want to say thank you, stay safe, and then we will see you next time. Thank you.